Hi, folks. Up next, we have a conversation with Zach, Fernando, and Leonardo. They're going to be discussing what a traditional company adopting Web3 and how it's affected their culture. Welcome to the stage, guys. Come on up.
All right, guys. This is
Thank you.
this is going to be fun. We're going to share with you in this presentation about what is Coordinape, what is iFood, and how this collaboration came for a traditional company to start really using Web3 and having it have direct effect on their culture. So if there's one thing that I want you to take away from this and to remember, it's that if you give contributors or employees, if you give them the chance to recognize and reward, appreciate, incentivize each other, it's one of the highest ROI things you can do for employee engagement and to get people really involved with what you're doing and really enrolled in the process of whatever organization you have. And so just to quickly introduce myself, I am the co-founder of Coordinape, and prior to this, I was working at Converge, where we were really focused on collaboration at scale. So when I discovered DAOs with global peer-to-peer collaboration, I got really, really inspired, sort of dove in, started contributing to various DAOs, and eventually started Coordinape.
Well, this is Fernando. I'm a data analyst in the finance team at iFood. And my first contact with Web3 was interacting with DeFi and also gaming. And I have also contributed to a few DAOs by creating dashboards and analysis. And I have used this DJ knowledge to in a side project at iFood also.
So I am Leonardo. I'm lead a finance team at iFood, and although I've always been in tech and finance, I've got interested in Web3 playing X Infinity, and of course I lost a bunch of money with that, but that's good because that's what brings me here today. So I'm glad that happened and that I got that interest in all the engineering and economics aspects of Web3. So before going further into our case, I would like to introduce iFood to you. So iFood is a Brazilian food delivery company. At least that is the formal definition. The way I like to introduce iFood is by mentioning that we are a tech company that happens to sell food. And I think that's much closer to the real definition and to the reason why we are here today. And at the chart, you can see some cool figures that we have just to give you a taste of how big and relevant iFood is nowadays for Brazil. And we have a massive number of drivers, a bunch of restaurants active in the platform. We are available pretty much in every city in Brazil. But if you want to keep just one number to understand iFood, just remember that we are responsible for over 0.5% of the Brazilian GDP nowadays. What I mean is that almost 1% of the Brazilian economy is directly related to iFood. That's how big we are nowadays, and that's some figure we are really proud of. And the way we got to be that big and the way iFood got to be iFood is because of our culture. I really believe that culture is our most important asset nowadays. And the culture I'm talking about is the culture of innovation. It's the culture of trying new stuff every day just because we like innovating and we like trying new things. It's the culture of letting things break because you know we can fix it. And that's how innovation happens. That's how we get innovative. And that's how we got from 0 to almost 100 million orders delivered per month in a time frame of less than 13 years. So I think that's an impressive number that shows what is iFood right now. And the reason we are here today is because 2 years ago, we decided that we should start challenging ourselves into using more Web3 in our day-to-days. And we do that because we are currently market leaders, and sometimes being a leader is a tough position to be in, because eventually you can get comfortable with how big you are, with your market share, you think you have a product that's good enough, and at some point someone comes with a better product, more money, and starting threatening your position. And that's what we are trying to avoid at iFood. And we are aware that there are some food delivery Web3 solutions focusing on decentralized food delivery. And it's just a matter of time until someone comes with a great product that should start threatening our position. And we don't want it to happen. If someone's going to disrupt iFood, we would prefer if it were ourselves. And that's why we started using it, although we didn't have any specific pain points that would only be solved by Web3. And then we got an idea. So back in 2022, Fernando and I were concerned about the data literacy levels at iFood. And we thought that since we were already discussing Web3, we could just mine some NFTs to reward people who first concluded the course. And that should work as a badge for the people who are some kind of reference. That should give them some taste of exclusivity, and they should feel better about being a reference at data. But the thing is, and I have to be honest here, it didn't work. And it didn't work because people didn't see any value in it. Like, they didn't know how to set up a wallet. Once they had it set up, they would just forget their passphrase several times and keeping losing their accounts every time. It was very tough to manage. And if they have their wallet set up, they just wouldn't look back at their NFTs because they didn't see any value in it. But although it didn't work, we still thought that there were some good things that we could do with Web3. And we kept looking at new stuff that we could do, that we could implement at our day-to-day. And that's when we found a solution called Coordinape that Zach's going to present to us.
Great, thank you. So, yeah, I'm going to share a little bit about what is Coordinape and how does it work. Coordinape is a platform for any team to recognize and reward and incentivize the contributors. Basically, how do you push the decision-making and value to the people who are actually working together, that know who's contributing and who's adding value? And we really built it around this idea that if people have a chance to appreciate and recognize each other, that'll create more engagement and better quality of work and more accountability. And so we started a couple of years ago, and we were primarily focused on DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations. And these are places that had lots of contributors that would just show up and do stuff, show up and help out, translate docs, or write a new piece of code. They weren't hired to do it. They were just adding value. And I was at Yearn at the time, and we were looking for a way to say, how can you just appreciate and encourage these people who are showing up and doing good things? So we created Coordinape, and I'll share how it works now. But it was really interesting when we were looking, we had all these DAOs, and then all of a sudden we saw in our user base this huge jump, and we're like, iFood, like, what is that? And so that's what led to us being on stage. Is it turns out these guys were, moonlighting as degens while they were working in this massive company, and they took the idea to their to the leadership and said, hey, we should try this here. So hopefully the first of many more traditional orgs that are trying to use these tools. So really quickly, how Coordinape works is basically you think of circles. So there's one large organizational circle that everyone's a part of, and then smaller circles for either one-off projects or for recurring teams. And the people in these circles have the chance to share what they've been working on, so share their contributions, giving context to people. And there's also going to be ways for that to pull from various, like from Slack and Discord, so that basically people can sort of share context of what am I working on. And then you have the chance to allocate give, what we call give, which are points. And every person by default has 100 points, and you're basically giving to your colleagues, to the people that you worked with, to say like, hey, awesome job on XYZ. I really appreciated your help with this thing that you did. And then, so when you have these points, then they translate to some budget of tokens. So you can distribute any token by proportionally to how many points they got on any given epoch or round. And the important thing here is that we really built all of this, all of the language, and sort of conceived it as it's not a stack ranking, and you're not supposed to evaluate every person in the company. You're just looking at who are those people that I collaborated with that I really appreciated, and it's your chance to really shout them out. and to say thanks for a job well done, which it turns out is the greatest motivator. Much better than raising someone's salary is getting them appreciated and recognized by their peers if you want to increase engagement and productivity. And then we saw that people were using Coordinape not really to distribute tokens, but just to generate reputation. So this is called a co-sol. This is a soul-bound NFT that you can mint, and it syncs your give on chain. So now if you go look at my co-sol, you'll see.
Enjoying the event? Fire up that wallet and delegate your ADA to Rare Stake Pool. For over 3 years, Rare has been committed to providing high-quality staking services. And we're now Chang Hard Fork ready. Thank you for your support.
The 17 DAOs that I've contributed to and the various amounts of give I've received from each. So this is basically an on-chain verified contribution. It's not me saying like, oh yeah, I was a contributor at Yearn. Like you can see, oh, for 13 epochs, over a year, I received this much give for my contributions. And then we also have these graphic displays so you can start to understand social graphs and social networks within your organization to understand who's giving to who, who's receiving from who. And we see a lot of potential for getting even more data and harvesting a lot more insights out of how people are perceiving each other inside your organization.
Okay, thanks, Zach. When we realized that the NFTs idea didn't provide the value that our users were looking for, we decided to pivot and build an end-to-end solution to make our users more engaged. And to do that, we have used Coordinape to make people connect and also reward each other. Then we have introduced a token, which is called Sol Token, to make our economy more tangible. And to spend those tokens, we have created a marketplace where the users are able to buy and sell learning experiences, for example, mentorships and also trainings. And the marketplace is really simple. It's a Slack page where the users are able to list and also sell experiences. So it all happens in a decentralized way where all the negotiation and also the transactions happened on Slack. So there are also listings like business trips with our CFO and also, for example, product management mentorships.
Yeah, and I just want to say this is like one of the cool things when you have traditional companies adopting this kind of tech where we're trying to innovate on very different ways of employees recognizing and engaging each other. But iFood said, instead of giving out money, we're just going to give out these tokens. And then what are we going to do with them? And they created this marketplace. Like when you dive into it, it's really cool because employees are now bidding to go, like he said, to go to a board meeting with the CFO. And the employees that want to do that are the ones that are like naturally sort of more high value, high performing employees. And now they're incentivized to get salt. So they're incentivized to, have their peers appreciate the work that they're doing. So it really creates a cool feedback cycle of both identifying high value employees and rewarding them.
Yeah. So it all started back in 2023 with our CFO sponsoring our idea. And it really helped us to set the tone and the importance to our colleague. After that, to increase even more the engagement of our users, we have introduced live auctions, where the users were able to bid on learning experiences, and it was a really fun way to spend our tokens, and also it added competitive elements to the whole process. By the start of 2024, we have made significant improvements in user experience. With the help of the Coordinape team, they have developed embedded wallet on their user interface, where the users are able to create new wallets by using their social sign-in, which was a huge pain point for us because our users were always losing their wallets. So we helped them to migrate from the MetaMask wallet to the wallet which is embedded on their UI. So when we talk about learning experiences, we are talking about career transformation. And here it's an example of how our project have made the difference on our users' careers.
Well, maybe that didn't survive the formatting transfer when we send in the slides. That's unfortunate. There's a great testimonial from a woman in the company who talks about how her career basically transformed by the use of this marketplace and how she got access to other parts of the company. So she got to get exposed to technical parts, exposed to marketing, and ultimately got several promotions as a result of that.
She used to work at the tax team, so she could migrate, change careers, and get a role in the product management team. So all that was possible due to a mentorship that she took buying on the marketplace.
And I know from working with a lot of big corporations, getting employees to do anything, employee engagement or like learning or go to courses, it's really hard. And here they have people actually bidding to try to go to them. That's all right. We'll stay tuned for the video. We'll post it somewhere.
And we have plans to expand these Web3 integration. iFood is a 5,000 employee company. Until now, we have been running this only on the finance team, but we are having conversations with our HR team to expand it to the whole company as a new way of doing performance reviews and also people development. But our main goal here is to create a new way of doing these people development and also the performance review, because we really don't enjoy the standard process that we have right now. We are also really excited about the possibility of using Gen AI in combination of the Coordinape tool, so we can make better decisions and also get more meaningful insights from how people connect with each other and how they reward each other as well.
Yeah, and for Coordinape, what we're really focused on now is how can we build out this offering, because iFood has found a lot of value in it, and other companies like Coinbase have also approached us and said, hey, we need this ecosystem for contributors to be able to reward each other and to especially take that give on chain. So that comes to the second point, decentralized LinkedIn, which is essentially what we're looking at is if you can take actual experiences, not just a random testimonial, but provable peer-to-peer attestations and take those on chain. Not only is that a much more robust reputation profile, but it's also, we can start to have much more interesting social graphs and social networks than what LinkedIn is willing or able to show you. And then finally, like you said, AI agents for coordination, and especially what we mean by that is how can we reduce context friction? Like when an organization gets big, the hardest thing is getting everyone on the same page and like, what are you working on? What are they working on? What's going on? How do you sort of keep that same drumbeat? And we see a lot of opportunity for AI to basically serve as that context accumulator and synthesizer, so that when people are allocating to each other, they have a much better sense of what's going on. So that's really wanted to share with you, really how this traditional company has taken a tech forward position, has realized that you don't want to wait for this technology until it's fully mature. So big props to these guys for making the case for a multi-billion-dollar company to try this crazy DAO product. And we're really excited about helping other organizations really see how this technology can be useful for you. So there she is. Look at that. She came on at the end. So maybe I'll let her have the last word. Nope. All right. Well, that's her.
Hello.
We're going to be at the conference for the next couple days, so you can come find us.
How the learning experience marketplace powered by blockchain at iFood has taken my career to the next level. In my role in the tech department, reaching out to our tech team felt like bridging two separate worlds. There was hardly any intersection, making any form of collaboration or learning incredibly difficult. iFood introduced a blockchain-based marketplace using our own cryptocurrency. So, this platform wasn't just groundbreaking. Actually, it was a gateway for non-tech employees like me to connect with tech experts through mentorship programs that were sold on live auctions. I embraced this opportunity and invested my thoughts in a product management mentorship. The insights and guidance I received were transformative and mind-altering. It changed my mind and broadened my horizons, allowing me to get my career into tech-focused role that I had always aspired to. This journey wasn't just about changing jobs. Indeed, it was about breaking barriers and realizing potential. This initiative helped me thrive in my new career. It's amazing.
Right. So, yeah, that's just an example of when you engage employees, give them a chance to connect and incentivize them to do it. Really cool things can happen. So thanks so much. Thanks so much for coming. We'll see you guys around the show.
Thank
you, guys.
Obrigado.
Rare Evo 2025 tickets are on sale now. Save big. General admission passes are discounted to $250, and VIP passes are only $800. Join us August 7th through 9th, 2025 at Caesars Palace, Las Vegas. Hurry, only 30 days left to save. Visit rareevo.io and buy your tickets now.